please, to all those fathers out there, happy Father's Day to my husband. Thank you so much for editing and taking care of all the videos and making this possible for everyone that's out there watching today, and for being a father to our 2 little girls. Thank you. Love you so much. And for all the fathers out there, as you know, once we had children, that's the drive and the catalyst that made me get into trading and to be a better person for them as far as providing for them, taking care of their needs, everything like that, which is what's brought me to actually sharing on the internet, doing blogs, doing the video, writing my book, and ultimately doing the Modern Trader Summit, which is going to be next Saturday in Orlando. I realize not everybody can get there. So if you go to moderntradersummit.com, there'll be a little pop-up right here. You can register for the live streaming. It is going to be available on demand after the event, but it's going to be going up to $99.99 for everybody then. And with a discount code, which I will put below, you can get it for roughly 50% off, and you can watch it as the event happens or on demand later. So definitely check it out and register before the live event. If you are in the Orlando area, you can go ahead and buy seats up to Wednesday. That is it. That is the cutoff. No more seats to be purchased in person after Wednesday. And if you also know my blog right here, CJ and Trade, you can also just click right here and it'll take you through to that page if you've got Modern Trader Summit. Getting into the watch list for the week, it was a very volatile week with FOMC, everything like that, with trade talks with North Korea, everything going on. And you'll see that on Monday, I was on timing research for the second time. I think I'm going to try to do this once a month with David, who has set it up. It's amazing. Definitely check out the video. And you'll see on Monday, we were hanging around here 279.25 during the actual talk. And I said, you know what, guys, I am 60% sure that the SPY is going to be closing lower than we're talking today. And I believe we're actually going to break this trend line, maybe even go down here and touch this trend line. Sure enough, look, we closed at 277.13. Second time on the show, second time correct prediction. Last time it was back over here and I said, hey, I think we're going to be closing below this trend line over here. So definitely check it out and sign up for it, because every week you're going to hear what some great traders have to say, and it's really interesting. It's a great place to go for research as far as seeing what the majority of people are thinking. Now, as far as going into the week, I think we're probably going to come down here, touch this MA 50-day moving average, potentially break it. If it does break, I think we're going down to this downward trend line here, but I think it's actually going to bounce. If you look, it's sort of been holding this. It does break it, and it definitely holds above this trend line right here for support, and we'll back it out even on the weekly to give you bigger picture. So you can see it did hold this upper trend line here, broke it this week. It's coming down. It did close though above this trend line on the weekly. So if we back it out to the weekly, it looks like it could hold this trend line further. And if we go to the daily, we are below it now. So you could go bullish on it here, I'd say maybe 275.88, that support area. It looks like it bounced right off of there, dropped just below it, 275.35 by 50 cents, and then ran back up. So definitely keep that on watch. As always, guys, I am not a licensed professional. I was back in 2001 with my Series 7 in the States. However, it is not current, so please do your own due diligence. There is risk in trading, and please make sure that you have done your due diligence and you are trading with proper risk management. Getting into the longs for the week, first long on the list is ULH, Universal Logistics Holding. You can see it's at a 52-week high, and it looks like it could potentially continue with his breakout. I like it. It's 8.2 million in the float and 1.14% short float volume. So to me, such a low short float percent volume indicates that people think that this is actually going to go higher, in my opinion. It looks like first big resistance might be 27.65, after that up to 29.05, and then after that, this would be the 5-year high of 34. When we go to an all-time high, you see 34, the all-time high would be 37.60. So $11 potentially for the all-time high, but I think more realistically we would be looking at 27.65, 27.70 as first resistance, again 29, and then on up to 34. Next on the long list, we'll go to SCWX, also hitting 52-week highs. This does have 9.9 million in the float, and it was 43.47% short float volume on Friday. It did close up at the high of the day on Friday. Typically, that will be a good indication that it will continue upwards. And you can see it has this resistance. I would say this would be the support here of 1291, resistance of 1330, because this is the past resistance flipped to be support. So I would watch that for support. If it breaks it on the way down, watch out. Low floats will drop fairly quickly. Next one we have is RLH, Red Lion Hotels. We back it out to our 15 minutes. I would say, again, use 1205 as support, 1225 as resistance. The 52-week high is 1250. So when we look at it, it hit that high. It must have been after hours or something, because I don't actually see it here on the 1-year chart. So I would watch 1225 for resistance, and this is the 5-year chart. So it's been upward trending, broke past resistance at 1175, then 1205 before that on the daily, and now 1225 is the new high of the year. So watch that, and it does have 20.69 million in the float, 9.56% short float volume. Next one is Goos, which had earnings on Friday. I did have this one alerted for 59.52 or 59.56 for a breakout, and sure enough, it ran up to 61.69. So flip it around, we'll do 59.52 as support and 61.69, the new high of the year, as resistance. This one had good earnings. The market liked it. It continued upwards. Just a tiny pullback of 65 cents overall for the stock. Amazing $15 move. This one does have 36.45% short float volume and 44.2% short float volume, 36.45 million float and 44.20 short float volume on Friday. So definitely keep this one on watch to see. It had 13 million shares that were traded hands on Friday. So this one could have another run to it for a couple days before we see a pullback. Last one on the long list is ATRC. So again, close to that 52-week high, we have it setting new highs. Many times you'll see that these guys will pull back a little bit as people take some profit, and then it will surge a little bit more. Typically, I tend to say it will continue for about 3 days before it pulls back. On that third day, many times people start to take a little bit of profit from it. So here on our 15-minute chart, I'd set the high of the pre-market on Friday, 27.25 as our resistance, and support down here, 26.73. On the year, you can see it's been coming up, broke a resistance level right here and shot up on Friday. It does have 30.2 million in the float and 64.5% short float volume on Friday. Going into the shorts for the week, we have TECK. Oh, I did a support and resistance on my list, but not here. So I have support as 58. Oh, excuse me. This is a different one. At 26.43, and we have resistance, I would say, at 27.06, and we'll go and we'll check those. Float really quickly. This is right where I get my float information and short float volume. So let's see if I put that down. I have 510 million. Yes, 510 million. That is correct. So watch for this one to continue down on the short side. I would say first possible support 26. After that, maybe down to 25.50, and then on down to 24.30. After that, I have GBT, which does have 32 million in the float. It did break the 52-day moving average right here, pulled down. I would say a support level of 39.10 and a resistance level of 40.95. You can see it did touch that other support, 37.10. So watch for that first 39.10 to break down, and then another $2 down to 37.10. Next on the short list, we have SEDG, Solar Edge Technologies. So Solar Edge Technologies, I would say 47.65 for resistance and 46.60 as support on our 15-day chart, 15-minute chart. And then, so ignore these up here. This was earlier one before it pulled back. that was on my short watch list. Okay, so you can see if we break this area right here, 45 down to 41, we've got a gap fill down here. So definitely keep it on watch. It does look like sort of an upside down cup and handle. So we've got that downward, and then here's the handle, and boom, it could continue down. Just like on the flip side, if we did a mirror image like that, it would be surging up. So this looks like it would be the upside down cup and handle. So it could surge down here, probably down to 42, 45. The moving average, I would say, would be another support to watch, which also happens to be pretty much the low of this candle right here, which is, it doesn't want to go to it. 41.50 was the low of that candle, so $1 above it. All right, next on the short list, we have Blue Bird Inc. And we've got a support level of 181.10 right here, and a resistance level of 184.20. We have another secondary support level of the low of the week earlier on of 178.45. So it did run up massively on Friday, and then it pulled back again. So this could be a correction for that massive run up, but if we pull it back out to a 1-year chart, basically it's sort of hovering around this support area here. If this support does break 178.45, I'd say we've got another $7 to the downside, 171.35, again to this moving average. And then if it does break below that, down to the 158, 160 area. Blue does have 49.64 million in the float. And the last one on the short list is WRD, Wild Horse Resource Development. Now, this one I'd say support of 24.10, resistance of 24.62. It does have 33.24 million in the float. And when we pull it back on our 1-year chart, you can see it had a massive run up, pulled back to this support level, and now it does look like it's testing it again. It could, I like to say it's an M, right? So an upside, you've got a somewhat of a double top here. And it could, if it breaks this level, continue on down, probably down here to 21.49, and then potentially further, I would say maybe even down to the 19 area before it would find further support and continue to bounce and run on up. Or it could use this level of support that it's had from before and rebound and go on up. That's what I see for this week, guys. Long-term potential swings, PTI on the daily 1-year chart. It does have this gap fill that if it breaks 369, I think it'd be a pretty good one. I would put a support of 269 if I were to get in now, so about 50 cents, because obviously you've got the low of the year down here at 146, but I wouldn't give it that far to go. And then the second one I have on the long list is Hair Robotics. And I would say if you were to get in here, give it to the low of the year, again 50 cents. It does have, we're talking about a $3 stock, up to $11. That's an $8 move, you know, 220% pretty much, 230% from your entry to the high of the year. So that could be a potential one as well. As always, guys, Carpe Profit. I want to see you guys registered for the Modern Trader Summit. It's all about helping you guys, giving back, which is one of the best gifts ever. And I want to hear from you. Subscribe and like the video, and let me know what you guys want to see as far as content. Have a great week ahead, and happy Father's Day.